Welcome back. Now, long-time viewers of this channel will remember a time where I used to look at open source apps, ones that were available on most Linux distributions, and then in later years I even started looking at some top 10s or best ofs in open source applications. Well, I want to start bringing some of that back because honestly there are so many fantastic free and open source software that you can download and enjoy, and one such project that we are going to be highlighting today, it's very personal to me and something that I've been looking around for a long time, and I think I may have found it. It's Xournal. Alright, well, what is Xournal? Well, glad you asked. Xournal, in a nutshell, is a handwritten note-taking app / PDF annotator / it doesn't really edit PDFs per se, but it is very, very useful for annotating PDFs. Now, in my day job, I'm a teacher and I do an awful lot of work with PDFs, whether it is marking students' work or annotating sample worksheets or taking notes on things for professional development and the rest of it. And then outside of that, just when it comes to like signing PDF forms and all that kind of thing, on Windows there are a myriad of software that can help you out. The go-to example that I think a lot of people, especially who are heavily invested in the Microsoft Surface ecosystem, they love Drawboard PDF. I'm a big fan of Drawboard PDF. I used it all throughout university. And Xournal, I think, is probably the closest thing that I've found to Drawboard and GoodNotes or Notability on the iPad, or there are a bunch of apps out there, let's be honest. But this app is under pretty active development. It seems to undergo a feature rev every now and again. If we look at the releases that they have available, the last release was in April, as we are in the beginning of June as of the time of the recording of this video. And more importantly, when it comes to distribution, this app is once again available on Windows, Mac, and every flavor of Linux you can think of. Now, the other really nice thing, which I want to make a big shout out to, is the fact that it supports pen input from devices such as Wacom tablets. Now, I'm curious to see what would happen if you paired this particular application with something like a Surface Book Pro, laptop, Go, whatever flavor of Surface you have, or indeed some of the Lenovo devices that have the Wacom touchscreen digitizer stuff built into those devices. But really quick glance at the feature list here. We have support for pen pressure, like I mentioned, support for annotating PDFs, shapes, PDF export, PNG export. We've got page preview, LaTeX support, which is kind of cool, although you obviously need LaTeX installed on the system in order for it to pick that up, and a few other things. So here's what the app looks like itself. I'm pretty sure I was just browsing around the software store one day and just noticed it in the productivity section, and I might even have been browsing through the Snap store, don't at me. So this is what the default interface looks like. You've got so many options up in the top panel here, especially when it comes to tools. The most important things I look for in a PDF annotator are highlighting and the ability to just input either text from the keyboard or digital writing from a pen. And I get all of those things in this application. So not only can you just enter text manually, you can of course jump in here with a shape tool and create any shapes that you would like. You can change the background of the page that or what kind of paper you want in the background. And like I mentioned, you can import and annotate on top of existing PDFs. So in this case, I have a big old booklet on the novel Animal Farm, and as you can see, we've got plenty of boxes here to do stuff with. Now, whether you want to use the pen and mark a particular box, now obviously it's a bit janky because I'm using a mouse, or whether you want to jump in here and select a particular font and font size, we'll knock that down to about font size 8, and then we can start typing our explanation for why we think the way that we do. Now, the other interesting feature that I found with Xournal is the ability to record. You can actually do audio recordings and then attach them to the PDF for playback. This is pretty interesting, and I don't know how exporting this works outside of this app, But here's some features that I would love to see happen. First of all, it'd be great to see some embedded cloud syncing support, so that this app, if you had it open on multiple OSs or multiple computers, it would synchronize the notes that you have by default. Now, I realize doing a good sync engine and doing it well is very difficult. And honestly, you could very easily just have the default save folder for Xournal backed up to your own cloud service. But it would just be kind of nice to see. But in terms of this, some of the features that they already have enabled, I'm really surprised that I didn't come across this earlier. Now, they are working on a floating toolbox very similar to what you see in Drawboard. So in Drawboard, you're used to seeing a little floating wheel with lots of options. Looks like they're working on doing something similar here in Xournal, that you can enable that feature if you so desire. And of course, with the advent of universal packaging, you can basically get this app wherever you get your software, which is amazing. So let me know if you are aware of any other really great PDF editors, annotators, or manipulators software in the open source world, and I will feature it here on this channel because I think it was an area of software that was really lacking in my own workflow. And let me know what you think of Xournal in the comments below. Are you more likely to use it for handwritten notes using a tablet or a digital inking situation, or are you more likely to use the PDF annotating side of things? Thank you all for watching. Catch you in the next one.